Hello guys, welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. As you can see, we've actually did a follow-up video now. I know, it's kind of shocking. I'm also full of cold and I've also been banished from where I normally do my filming by my son, so I'm kind of stuck at my painting desk at the moment. But we're going to make it work because I promised videos, and videos are what I shall give. Plus, I really want to get these last box of Ewoks built, and I can't do that until I unbox them. So, I have built 3 of the 4 boxes that I've got, so I can show you them assembled. You can kind of see them in the background. This is the Ewok set. I think it's about £40. I didn't pay that much. I got them from an alternate seller. You can pick them up from the likes of Firestorm Games, Wayland Games. I think Goblin Games have them. You know, the generic ones, Element and all those. Your third-party sellers have got them, and they've got them at a discount is what I'm saying. I know Gaming Figures has a 40% discount on all Star Wars Legion. They're one of the places we shop at a lot. They didn't have Ewoks in at the time, otherwise I would have got them from there. Let's have a look. Let's flip these bad boys over. As you can see, and again, I can only apologise. We're at an angle because we're working with limited space due to it being my painting nook, as it were. So it comes with 8 miniatures, obviously the bases as well. It comes with the 2 units cards because they are a core troop and they're a specialist troop, and you can build them one of 2 ways. They've got 5 upgrade cards, 1 token sheet and 1 insert sheet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the box and then we're going to have a look at the contents of such. And then, as I said, we'll have a look at the built models because they are really, really nice. Back in a second, guys. Right, so here's all the goods in all its glory. So you can see the Ewoks themselves come on 2 frames, and we will look at them in a second. But first thing we'll do is we'll look at the token sheet. It's the same strong cardboard that's used to make all the tokens. You guys who've watched my channel for any length of time will know I love a good quality token, and these definitely tick that box perfectly. They're strong, they pop out easily enough without damaging the actual token itself. I can't say enough good about them. So you get 10 of these little Bright Tree tokens, which I haven't read enough to know what they do yet, but someone will undoubtedly tell me in the comments. You guys are good like that. You get 3 Surge tokens, and then you get the tokens for the actual models themselves. And as I said, you get a special token and you get a core token because you can use them as either, depending on what they're armed with. I mean, you could, if like my group, you play WYSIWYG, you would have to buy 2 boxes to build up 1 of each. But if you're playing with friends, I suppose there's no reason you can't just say, oh, for a game, these are specialists, and then use the alternate token. But yeah, so this is what you get. I'll just pop one out. You can see the thickness. They're really good quality. So I'm going to put these to one side because I'm a token guy, but you guys aren't watching this for the tokens. Actually, realistically, you're probably just watching it because you've been following me for a while, so you support regardless, and I do appreciate that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at the cards, which means zooming in a little bit for you there. So this is the Ewok Trapper. As you can see in the bottom corner here, he's a unit upgrade. And it's also on the back. It wasn't until I was doing the last unboxing video that I realised it was in this bottom corner as well as on the back. And when I was telling Sparks, one of our channel, he didn't realise that they were actually on the back. So the more you know. So yeah, so this can go for either the skirmishers or the slingers. It has 1 Ewok Trapper miniature, which we will look at later. And then this unit gains the ability to add an extra upgrade. So it is really, really cool having this model in. And the next thing we have is a heavy. And again, you can see it on the back. And he's an Ewok, for Ewok skirmishers or slingers. He adds 1 Axe Ewok miniature, which has Pierce 1 and Impact 1, and it's also 1 red die in close combat. So he's a bit of a combat beast for Ewoks anyway. I mean, yeah, Ewoks aren't exactly badasses, but, you know, we'll have a look at that when we look at their card momentarily. Yeah, bless them. And once again, I can only apologise. I am absolutely stuffed with cold again because anyone who's watched our videos long enough would know that I spend the whole of winter with a cold. And I also say, obviously, and however, too much. So we're going to work on that. but I always say that. So, yeah, you can see here, this unit gains 1 suppression token, this unit gains charge until the end of the round, and this is an exhaustible one, so if you use it, you would just tap it, put it sideways or upside down, or flip it over, and then when you do a recover action, you'd be able to use it again. And you can see here on the back. And then we have Insatiable Curiosity, and that's got a cross, which means it's a one use only, but this can go for skirmishers or Ewok slingers. Choose an enemy unit in base contact with this unit's leader that has one of the following upgrade equipped. Discard one of those non-unique or limited upgrades. This unit suffers a wound. So you can make someone get rid of an item. So you couldn't get rid of, say, the Dark Saber or something like that because it is unique. But you could get rid of someone's rocket launcher on their Imperial troops, for instance, or their droids, which is pretty good. As I said, at the minute it's 8 points, but that will inevitably change, as points always do. And then the last one is Forest Dwellers, which I'm pretty sure we've previously looked at. But doesn't matter, we'll have a look at it again. So this unit gains Scout 1 at the start of its first activation phase. This unit also gains a dodge token. So it's really good, and you're probably going to be wanting your Ewoks with them. But now, let's take a look at the 2 Ewok unit cards that you get within this box. So this is the Ewok Skirmishers, which, as you can see up the top there, is a core troop. It shows up here that they can be part of a Bright Tree, but they can also be in Rebels. They can take a heavy, they can take an upgrade, a unit upgrade, and then they can take an ability, which is made 2 if you put on the Trapper, as we saw. They've got low profile, they're unhindered, and as you can see here, as I was saying before, they just roll 1 black die in combat, so they're not exactly powerhouses. They've got a movement of 2, and then they're 1 each on courage and stamina, with rolling white die for defense. So they're going to die pretty easily, but you do have ways to bring them back, as we saw with Logray. And then we're going to look at the Ewoks slingers themselves. So they're independence with Surge 1, low profile, target 1, unhindered. As you can see, they work for the same factions. All this ostensibly is the same. They have a sling, which gives you a 1 to 2 range, which is 1 black die with primitive. And they have stone, so it's 1 white die in combat. So they still can fight in close combat, but it's just hitting people in the head with a brick, essentially. But yeah, so they're pretty cool. I'm a big fan of them. As you can see up in the corner, you can take 6 as basic. So a fully fledged out unit will have 8 models. So yeah. That's them all bar the sprue, and I know what you're thinking. You're saying, just get on with it so we can look at the finished models. And I agree, but yes, so let's have a look. So you get 4 per sprue, of which the first sprue I've got here has the axe and the trapper on, and then 2 normal guys. And as you can see here, you've got the sling arm, or you've got the spear on. And the other one is identical again. Not identical, sorry, but is the same again, as in you get the Ewoks, each of which has a spear and a sling, and they match up. So E, D, and D. So you can't go wrong with them, really, and the same up at the top. I suppose you could get that E and that E mixed up. I've not messed around. I've built 3 boxes of them, and I just built them as is. I didn't mess around, seeing if different arms would go on different ones, because I didn't care that much. But yeah, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a very short break, and it really is just a short break this time, because as you guys can see in the background, I very much have these Ewoks built, and then we'll have a look at them in a bit more detail. But if I don't blow my nose, it's going to be very sniffy in the next part of the video. So yeah, I share a lot with you guys. Back in a second. So here you can see my Ewoks in all their glory. And I've put all 3 units out that I've built so far. As you can see, I've got 2 spear units, which are the skirmishers, and then I've got 1 unit with slings, meaning that second box will get built as slings. Now, there's a very good chance I'm going to end up with more Ewoks, so that I've got a bit more versatility in terms of how many with slings, etc. But for now, I've just bought exactly enough. Well, I say I've bought. They were Christmas presents. Early Christmas presents. But yeah, I've got enough to be able to field a full 800-point army. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at each of these Ewoks. I'll show you them all in sling form as they're there first, and then we'll look at the others after that. So the first one you've got here is an out of focus miniature. So let's see if we can actually get that focused. There we go, look at that, no expense spent. He's a really, really nice model. He comes on the lug. That's just some blemishing on the basis where I cleaned stuff up. It's not actually bumpy as it looks. So ostensibly I've got 3 of that exact model so far. That's what my arm would look like, very hairy, like a beast. Here's the trapper, again he's on a log, so they stand out particularly nicely. That does need a bit of cleaning up actually, so thank you internet. Then you've got your champion, which every unit has like a unit leader or a champion, and he has a horn, so he stands out. That is a bit of fur, it's not a bit of flesh. I did accidentally cut that off on one of the others, and then we'll have a look. So these are made of the new plastic as well, so they're not the really horrible plastic that the starter set stuff comes on. As you can see from it being on a sprue, you do have to build them, and plastic glue does work. And then the last one, oh no, last 2. Oh, there we go. So the detail on them is really, really good. The plastic is textured, so you'll be able to get your dry brushes on them. And essentially the others are all the same except for the arm swap. I will show you them. I won't show you the trapper or the axe guy again, but yeah, so you can see. I'll get the leader. The leader comes with a little axe, but it's not the same kind of axe. He doesn't come with a spear, so he will always... I mean, I suppose you can convert him up to have a spear, but it's just another way in which he stands out. So yeah, so these are them so far. I will obviously build the next one, and I think I am going to do a couple of little painting things on the fur and stuff. I don't know whether that will be actual painting tutorials or whether it'll just be a paint along where, you know, I might go on a live stream, because I have been getting asked that now that obviously we're back doing videos and stuff, and I've put out a couple of little polls and I've spoke to a few people. Live streams has been something that's brought up, so I think maybe we'll do some. We used to do them on Instagram where you would we would sit and we would paint something together, and maybe I would give a few little hints and tips on how I do things, whilst at the same time just getting to chat with all you guys in the community, which was actually the most fun part. We did it a lot during the pandemic. It actually really helped a lot of us out. We're quite a tight-knit little group, and it was really, really fun. They kind of died down after the pandemic as people started going back to work and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. You know, life is life, it gets in the way. But yeah, guys, so the next video in the series will be the ATST, and full disclosure, I have already got it, so I'm just waiting to do that filming, so it will be coming shortly. Not shortly in our normal sense where it's like 3 years down the line, I mean like a week's time. But yeah, I'm trying to get more comfortable doing this again. I don't know if you guys noticed from the first video, but I was a bit awkward and all over the place. A couple of things wrong, but no worries, they caught it in editing and absolutely flayed me alive. Yes, I said Wookiees about 20 times instead of Ewoks. That's my bad. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for obviously coming back to the channel, taking this journey with me. I'm very excited about this whole Ewok project. I know my general monotone voice doesn't show that, but those who've watched the channel long enough will obviously know this is how I sound all the time. Except that rare occasion where I almost squeaked with excitement when opening the Necromunda box, but us Necromunda fans had waited a long time for a new version of Necromunda, so leave us alone. I'll do the same if we ever get Battlefleet Gothic. But yeah, the usual, guys. Social media stuff, like, subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you think of the Ewoks, let us know what you're playing for Star Wars Legion, let us know what content you want to see next. We are dabbling a little bit with some Batman miniatures, we've got some bolt action on the go, we've got some Star Wars Shatterpoint and some Marvel Legion, no, Marvel Crisis Protocol, so those kind of things will be coming back to the channel. But if there's other games you want to see, obviously we're building up some 40k at the moment, since 40k has just got a new edition. Sparks and I are looking at Black Powder Epic Battles. I've got some British, and Sparks has some French, I believe so, because he has Napoleon. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff coming to the channel, or exciting for us anyway. But yeah, thank you so much for coming back on this journey with us. If you could just do the usuals, like, subscribe. I know I've already said it, but again, I'm just getting back into it. But yeah, pray the dice gods and hope to smile upon you, and take care of yourselves. Bye guys.